Good evening, hello, and welcome to the first episode of the Science Fiction Rating System. I'm Sam, and I'm joined by Alex.
Hello.
And Chris.
Hello.
And this is a pilot, so probably no one else is going to hear it, but it might.
Stick it up. Stick it in.
Stick it
Take
in.
it public.
Okay.
Stick it up, stick it in, stick it wherever.
We'll see what happens in the next hour or so first. So, we better start by explaining what this is. We're going to rank every single science fiction film ever made. Using a scientific process. We'll have a list from 1 to however many there are, like a few thousand. It might take a while. We're doing 3 a week, and inserting each 3 of those into the overall list as we go. It'll make more sense by week 2 because there'll be something to insert into. Because the list is blank at the moment.
Week 1 is just going to be like we just picked 3 films and thought they were the best sci-fi films ever.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, not on this list. There's 2 good sci-fi films. There's one that I'm less enthusiastic about, but we'll get to that. Yeah, so that's basically the format. So let's just start a little introduction, I suppose. Who we all are. And I was going to say your favourite science fiction film ever, but that was probably giving too much away. So
yeah, it would for me.
Say your favourite non-science fiction film ever.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Or your favourite science fiction television series ever.
Ah, yeah, I like that as well. Okay, well, Alex, you can go first as it's your...
Oh, okay. Well, damn it! Didn't give myself time to think.
No.
My name's Alex. Yes, and what am I... I'm sure you're just thinking, what are your credentials for being here? Why? Why you? How dare you? What right do you have on this audio medium internet thing? But yeah, well, I've got a website where I review horror films. So
no,
again,
plugs are at the end, man.
yeah, I'm just trying to lay the groundwork of why anyone would be listening to me. I'm not, that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so there's that. And I work in a cinema. I guess that counts for something. And I studied film. That counts for something. Yeah. But anyway, so what did I do myself with? Favorite non-science fiction film. Oh God. Last Boy Scout. I'll do for now. And favourite science fiction television show. I'm counting Person of Interest. There's a science fiction element. I like Person of Interest a lot. So I'm saying there's a science fiction element to that. It's a big computer in it. That'll count. So I'm done. There you go.
I'm not even sure what that is.
You've never seen Person of Interest? Oh, no. It's amazing. It's a big computer that spies on people and basically... They can watch it. This is not a podcast about science fiction television. No, I don't know why I'm explaining it to you.
Yeah, okay. All right, moving on.
I've never heard of that. Never even
heard
of it.
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You have to start another podcast, won't you? I recommend TV.
I thought you were going to say Murder, She Wrote or something, or something that we all knew.
That was mine. All right, Chris, do you want to
go? Hi, I'm Chris. My credentials are... well, they're pretty much 0, but they're... I haven't been to film school. I don't work in the cinema. I am a filmmaker, and the films I make are generally, up until now, have been sci-fi. So this is kind of my area, but and I've always loved sci-fi, and I'll pretty much gravitate to sci-fi all the time. Yeah, and I guess my favourite non-sci-fi is going to be Jaws for a movie.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
That's mine.
Non-sci.
Yeah, that's mine.
And
that's my favourite.
What, we both can't have the same?
Okay, I'll have to come up with something else. Okay.
And I like everything Star Trek on TV. I like all the series, even the rubbish ones. I like Voyager.
Wow.
Are you ranking them now?
It's a good job I'm not doing a TV programme podcast.
Yeah.
We'd be at blows probably.
At least you've heard of Voyager.
I don't know how you can't not like that.
That's true. At least I've heard of it. Good point.
I don't see a problem with that. It's great.
I like Voyager as well. I don't know what their problem is with Voyager.
it's just boring.
At least he didn't say the one with the guy from Quantum Leap in.
That's worse.
Yeah.
That's worse, actually. Yeah, actually, I don't like that series, whatever that one is. Enterprise.
No, Enterprise.
Yeah.
Terrible ending.
I
Terrible.
get that.
Okay, so
And then so besides my general filmmaking, I'm just I waste time making TV adverts and that sort of thing. So
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm Sam, and I've got even less credentials than Chris, so it's getting worse. I've not been to film school. I don't make films. I'm not involved in the industry in any way. But I did do the soundtrack to one of Chris's films, so that's kind of a sci-fi thing. I love sci-fi stuff. Yeah, that's about it, really. Favourite non-sci-fi film? It was Jaws. I'd probably say
I'm just thinking. I know yours is Jaws, and I know yours is Jaws. So I'm just trying to think if I had a secondary.
No, Rushmore's my second. I like that a lot as well, so I'll go with Rushmore. The Wes Anderson film. And favourite science fiction TV series is probably Star Trek Deep Space Nine, because it's by far the best of all the Star Treks.
Space stations don't even move.
No, but they get the Defiant, and they mine a wormhole. It's
a bad ship, the Defiant. Doesn't even have nacelles.
Doesn't need them. Doesn't need nacelles. Anyway, look, this isn't a Star Trek podcast.
No,
okay,
it's going horribly off track.
Okay, so that's they're my two favourites. Not got many credentials, but I believe in the system, and that between the three of us, we've got enough knowledge to make an ultimate definitive list that no one can ever argue with, which is all we need to do.
Yeah. Oh, just to interject, I've realised in a technical sense, my audio is coming out of my speakers, so that means that my mic is probably recording the ambient sound of yours. So I should probably have headphones
in, Alex.
I'm going to have to go and get headphones, though. So you talk amongst yourselves.
Right. We'll talk amongst ourselves.
But that's better, isn't it? It's better to stop that now.
Yeah, do that. And in fact, we'll just take a little break here, as it's the pilot, and I'll just check it's definitely recording on my end.
Okay, right. Good one. I won't be long.
Get some headphones.
Just put some music on here.
And we're back. Unscheduled break. But before we do get to the films, there's one more thing that I've got to ask. Is obviously this is a science fiction rating podcast. Chris and I spent probably about 5 or 6 hours trying to work out the definition of science fiction before was it before Christmas? Yeah. So I just wanted to ask you, Alex.
That's also available on podcast.
Yeah, a special feature that is. Yeah. Alex, what would be your definition of science fiction?
I was thinking about this. Obviously, in a brutally simplistic sense, it's fiction about science. Kind of obviously, isn't it?
All right.
But I'm just saying. So that's so I would say the beauty of sci-fi is that it is a completely wide and varied ocean of ideas and concepts. So I would say a lot of things, like I say, I like horror, so I'd say a lot of things that are horror kind of dip their toe in that sea of sci-fi. So I'm nice and floppy about sci-fi. I think a lot of things are sci-fi, so yeah. I don't know about a concise definition. What did you come up with in words?
Let me narrow down the question to, do you think Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is a science fiction film or not?
But it is, isn't it? Because it's got aliens and there's a spaceship and there's a thing in the nuclear thing in a fridge. I mean, that's science right there. Being able to survive a nuclear blast.
That's not science fiction, is it? It's not science fiction, though.
Well, you can't survive a nuclear blast by hiding in a fridge, so it is science fiction.
Yeah, but if you do that, though, you'd have to count like most action films have things that happen that aren't things, don't they?
Yeah, well,
I'm happy for the definition to be really long if we can just get rid of that movie.
I think it's hard to, because there is an actual spaceship in it, and if we remove spaceships from the definition of science fiction, we've lost most of the films.
But it's just a flying saucer.
There's aliens,
my argument was that is kind of like legend, them 1950s, like flying saucers and you know, them sort of grey type aliens. So they were like made up in the 50s,
ridiculous.
and there's no scientific basis for that. That could be like a witch on a broom or a dragon.
There's no scientific
So
basis for Star Wars.
that's my.
Is there?
I think it counts.
Like,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it definitely counts. I think,
Like you said, there's so many
as-
films. We're going to take ages to get around to that.
That's true.
In some rules, Star Wars wouldn't be in it. Because
Precisely.
It's fantasy, right? So.
Well, Star Wars is in this first episode, so we've got to do Indiana Jones. All right. So shall we get down to it? Shall we begin with our very first film?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So our first film is by Steven Spielberg. It was released in what year did it come out? Is it 92?
93.
93.
Shot in 92, released in...
Yeah, 93. 11th of June 1993. It's Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park.
My favourite film.
Park. You didn't say...
Chris's
yeah.
favourite film.
Right. Well, so we're opening on a big one, really, but with that right there.
Yeah, but we were opening with the idea that we would then not include these first three films, but I think now we're probably just going to include these first three films in the list.
Yeah.
It means that... Well, no, we'll see what happens with the ranking.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. So let's discuss Jurassic Park, shall we? So, Chris, do you want to start? Like, it's your favourite film.
Yeah, I mean, I like Jurassic Park.
End of podcast.
Fantastic. That's a wrap. Ranking number one.
Well, I think it was because when this film came out, I was 9, and it sort of... That was the first movie I went to, and it, like, completely made my head explode.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just think the world which was made was totally really cool, and obviously they were aiming at 9-year-olds to try and sell things, and it probably had the same impression on me as what maybe Star Wars had on the generation above me.
Yeah, well, I mean, definitely
when they
for
were
me,
9, you know.
It had a similar effect on me, and I would say it's probably my top 5 to 10 films of all time as well. What I'm interested about is, Alex, without giving too much away, you're slightly older than me and Chris. Did it have the same effect on you? At the
Thanks.
I said slightly. I didn't say
no. I'm trying to remember. I did see it in the cinema, and I remember a little girl running out crying because she was so scared, which is good. So that's good. So that to me was a positive cinematic experience, because I thought yes, and I do remember also thinking it was very massively hyped, but it lived up to the hype. Yeah, no, I thought it was good. It's not probably in my top 10.
No,
Can you not hear me? Oh, can you hear me?
I've got you now again, yeah. We've got you now, it's all right.
Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
Back,
it went all
back.
weird.
Fine,
yeah. I would say it's not in my top 10. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's good, yeah. But, like...
When did you last see it, Alex? How long since you've seen Jurassic Park?
A long time ago.
I know
Like,
Chris is probably hours, not days.
Yeah,
since you
it's a
last
long
saw it.
time ago since I saw it.
I haven't watched it in a little while. It's on TV every now and again, so I watch that. I give it a proper watching when it's on TV.
A thorough look.
I think it was sort of a perfect storm, because the music is amazing. I saw it with live orchestra, didn't I? Just before Christmas at the Royal Albert Hall. That was amazing.
Nice.
And yeah, so, and also technically there was a lot of stuff done for the very first time on that film, and I still think it looks good. I think there's much later films where they've done the same sort of stuff and it looks bad.
It's because they use so many practical effects, isn't it, rather than just relying on all the CGI.
Yeah, but even
Definitely.
the big CGI things in that film I don't think are really bad.
I think the only shot that really stands out is when they first see the...
Brachiosaur.
Yeah, and he takes his hat off and it's really close to them. I think that looks really janky. But other than that, a lot of the distant stuff is fine. And
in some ways, what they did there was insane, because it's in broad daylight.
Yeah.
And you've seen the full thing. You know, when the T-Rex attack, that's at night with rain, and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Now, I think with all that CG which was invented for that film, if you look at the making ofs, and the computers were really basic. Like, I think it took like 72 hours to render a frame. I actually don't know how they did it. It's like it's kind of a little bit beyond me. I mean, yeah.
Excuse me. This raises another question that we need to deal with quite fast. Is that with these films, how much are we taking into account the impact at the time versus what we feel about them now?
Well, I think, but you've got to take both into account.
It's on a case-by-case basis.
I think you've got to take both into account. I think a good film is, you get the anticipation of it, which for Jurassic Park was ridiculously huge. Then you get the actual watching it experience, which again for me was positive. It lived up to the hype. And then you get the kind of aftermath of that. Does it stand the test of time? Do you still think about it? I still, whenever the internet crashes at my work, say I can't get Jurassic Park back online. And I've sometimes even used that little picture of the little fat guy jiggling, laughing, when he crashes the system. I've used that. Yeah. So and so many people thought that we could clone dinosaurs out of, little mosquito. People believed that, didn't they? Like, that's a good science fiction film. Yeah. It actually became that people were like, yeah, that's doable. Let's just do it. But you couldn't, but,
I can't see the word Unix without turning around to the person next to me and going, it's Unix, I know this. my favourite line in that whole film. And then she flies through, like, virtual corridors to get to the correct file. I love that sort of thing.
It's of the era, like, in the 90s, a lot of science fiction films were, like, fearing computing because it wasn't really mainstream. So it was always the computer which caused the problem.
Well, no, it's
like your Terminators and stuff like that.
Well, it's Dennis Nedry, it's not the computer.
Yeah, but I know, but he was using a tool which no one really understood at home.
Dodson, we got Dodson here. That's another line that I think about a lot. It's a good film.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's a testament to a good film.
The storytelling is like they show things. They show amazing things. They don't show everything. He leaves a lot to the imagination. Yeah, and I think, obviously they were at the limits of what they could do. But nowadays, hence Jurassic World, they just give you 1 million dinosaurs. They just put everything up. And I think if you watch that from an actual storytelling perspective, that film, it's unbeatable. And also bear in mind that Spielberg was also doing Schindler's List at the same time. So, like, it's 2 best movies he ever made.
Well, that's not a good film. But
Thank fuck you didn't get them confused.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think that's an interesting point, and I've thought that before, that it sits at the perfect sort of time between, like, old Spielberg storytelling and new CGI, isn't it? It's the perfect storm of they've still got to rely on writing a good story, and they've still got to rely on practical effects and stuff like that, but they've just got the wizardry. And the problem is, like you say, that like it then, as another film we can look at later on, descends into relying on the CGI at the expense of the story. Chris is shaking his head. But definitely that's part of the charm of it, is that it is, it could have, but it couldn't have been done, like it could have been done 10 years ago, could it? It couldn't have been done around the time of E.T. because it wouldn't have worked, would it, without the CG? You need both bits, don't you? You couldn't do dinosaurs rampaging around a park.
Yeah, you need to see dinosaurs. That's it. It was labelled as let's see some dinosaurs. You're going to see dinosaurs. If you didn't see dinosaurs, you'd be a bit pissed at Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park without dinosaurs would be a pretty annoying.
That'd be a good cut though, a nice edit on YouTube. I'd like to see that.
But the dinosaurs were like, they invented what we think of as dinosaurs in a lot of sense. The science done for the film was wrong. With scientists at the time. A lot of it has been updated now, but actually how we see them dinosaurs is because of that film.
Yeah.
So it really is science fiction because they made it up.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point. Well made. Yes. Okay.
I didn't think it was a documentary, by the way. I'm just saying it's not.
That would be good though, like a sort of Blair Witch sort of Jurassic Park film, like a found footage dinosaur film. Why has no one done that?
Yeah.
That'd be a great film, wouldn't it?
Yeah, someone probably has. Some of those terrible straight to TV sci-fi movies. There's probably one like that.
Like if Lost World had just been someone found a journal someone made on Site B, like their video diaries of
if you look on Netflix, there's probably a film just like that.
Yeah, but I mean, like on a budget at the scale of,
Oh right, yeah.
not with Nicolas Cage in it, as that film no doubt has.
Yeah.
I mean, that was that. I'm just trying to find the budget and see what that was in comparison to stuff at the time. It was a shitload.
Yeah. Technical term.
Yeah. I've only got the budget for all 4 Jurassic Park films as one number here, and it's 379 million.
See, I think I was saying earlier on about
God.
the effect, the effect at the time compared to now. I'm just thinking about I just got the trailer going on my screen here, and remembering that trailer really well. I remember some of my dad's work saw Jurassic Park about 6 months before it came out over here, and all she could talk about to him was Jurassic Park. And so I remember just being so. I think the one thing she mentioned was the guy getting eaten off the toilet, the lawyer.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
and so in my head, I was
Great.
like, "Oh my god, this is gonna, what can this possibly be?" And I'm sure in my head, I remember it. Like whenever I see that scene, it's not how I remember it, because as a kid, you're so caught up in the hype, aren't you? And you sort of the film's something else to you than what it really is in a way. And I think
that was the first case of spoiler.
Yeah,
You
totally.
were
Yeah, yeah, I was spoiled. Yeah, I was spoiled because I was a scaredy cat and I didn't like graphic violence, so they were warning me so I could look away. I think I probably did look away at the cinema.
That everything about, I mean, the sounds, it's great.
It's a great theme. It's
The
fantastic
behaviour.
theme.
I mean, the behaviour of the animals. They invented that. They did so much research into that. Approaching that film, it must have been really daunting, because it's like we've never done this sort of thing before. It's insane what we're gonna attempt to do.
Definitely. In the interest of balance, though, name one thing you don't like about it, Chris. There must be one thing you don't like about Jurassic Park. And same for you, Alex. If you ever think about something you don't like, I suppose
the sequels.
longer list.
The sequels are crap.
That doesn't count. That's separate. We've got to rank those separately.
I mean, there's some dodgy continuity things in there, but I don't really see that as a problem. I mean, it's not distracting.
I'll tell you what I don't like. The kids, in particular, the little boy. You find him, I mean, that's just Spielberg, isn't it? He's always got an annoying kid in there, but I can't stand, especially when he gets on the electric fence and just has some bloody ears from his 10,000 volt electric shock. Just nonsense, That's what I take out.
Goldblum.
That's not well, hang on. Is it
Ridiculous. No.
Yeah.
Actually,
I really like the dialogue in it, because the dialogue is quite spat out, and you can't actually hear what a lot of the words are. And especially when I was 10, I didn't understand anything which was being said. And to me, that was really good, because it added a layer of scientific intrigue to it, and I didn't know what was going on.
That's a Spielberg sort of trait, isn't it? That kind of people talking over each other in a lot of very natural feeling scenes. It's got that sort of, that's like a Jaws thing, a very Jaws sort of, when they're in the bunker with Samuel L. Jackson, there's a lot going on. It's a lot, you feel like it's a live environment, not just someone talking to somebody else on a script. Yeah, no, it's all good. Okay.
So in the ranking, is it what number's it going at?
Well, it's tough. It's tough. So
Staying at 1.
in a list of 1, we're starting
Where
with a
is
strong
it?
contender and 1. And there is actually a spreadsheet on the folder now, and I'm putting it in at number 1.
Right. It's in at 1.
So Jurassic Park is 1.
Yeah.
It's 1 of 1.
Yes!
So far.
1 of 1.
at least for now.
Brilliant.
What's your favourite dinosaur?
Good question.
T-Rex.
I like a compy.
Mine's Dilophosaurus.
Which one's that one?
The spitter.
Oh.
It gets Nedry, yeah. Even though scientifically there's no evidence it ever did that. But
That is
I
a
think it's quite
fantastic
good.
scene. I love that scene.
And it's
so
a fantastic, what a thing to invent, considering it wasn't even known in science that they invented that to do that in a movie.
Yeah. No, it was good stuff. Okay, so Jurassic Park, we're a fan overall. It was definitely one mega fan. I'm a pretty big fan, and you're a fan, aren't you, Alex?
I like it. No. I'm not. I'm just trying to be more moderate here. I think it's very good. I don't think it's like I said. I wouldn't put it in my top 10. I'm sorry, but top 20. But yeah, it's good. I'm not saying it's not.
But
good.
you weren't 9 when it came out. That's the thing.
No, that's obviously the problem.
Yeah. Okay.
That was the age, obviously, to be at to get in at number 1.
I think so. Definitely. Yeah. Okay, so let's have a little break, and then we'll return with our second film. And we're back with our second film of 3 today. Another 90s film. Another one that I think Chris is a big fan of. Bigger fan than both of our other two, probably.
Okay.
This is the Dean Devlin, Roland Emmerich classic in
It's inverted commas, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
It's a classic
Independence
for them.
Day. Yeah, it's their career high point. Well, Stargate. It's a better film.
That was rubbish.
Ooh. No, Stargate's... Oh, right, well, this is going off track already.
That's like... Yeah, okay. The film's Independence Day, not Stargate. Also starring Jeff Goldblum. And, I remember at the time, again, being extremely excited for this film. I had a big oversized T-shirt for it. And it was a T-shirt that, like, when you turn... You know those 3D... CD covers you get sometimes. You turn them.
Hologram.
Yeah, I had that on a T-shirt.
You didn't have that on a T-shirt.
I did.
What on the T-shirt?
They never had that on T-shirts.
I did. I definitely did.
What was on the
It was on the
T-shirt?
VHS cover, the hologram.
Oh, was it? I remember it on the T-shirt.
Yeah.
What was
It's
the
famous
hologram?
for that VHS insert.
Well, it like blows up and doesn't blow up as you turn it. I always thought it was on my T-shirt. I always remembered it as being on my T-shirt.
It was the White House explodes as you twist the box.
So
It's really good.
You were imagining walking down the street and people
Yeah,
just
with
like,
it turning.
oh my
yeah.
god, the White House!
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh god!
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Well,
but that's
if you did
not
have
true.
it on your T-shirt would have been solid because them
I remember it being
holograms.
really heavy though. I remember it being
Yeah.
a really big T-shirt.
It's like you would have been wearing a sandwich board.
Have you just this film has made you imagine a T-shirt that could never exist?
Yeah,
Basically,
which is
The
like one
power
of my
of science
greatest childhood
fiction.
memories. And now that's gone. Like this film's got nothing for me. That was my one positive. I was starting
wow.
strong.
Okay.
So yeah, this is from '96. I did like it at the time. Bought the VHS, obviously. Got confused as to what it was. Watched
it was
an
a T-shirt.
awful lot. Yes, I was trying to wear the VHS. That was the problem.
There's your fucking problem right there.
Yeah, and it wasn't oversized because it was a VHS case.
Oh dear. Okay. So how recently did you watch this film, Alex? How recently?
Ages
did you see
ago.
Independence Day?
Ages and ages ago. Although
Right.
I was watching that documentary Hypernormalization the other day, and it had loads of clips in it from Independence Day, and it kind of jogged my memory. And obviously with the stupid sequel that I never saw, but with that coming out, I was kind of reminded of Independence Day. But I was like you. I remember the hype. I remember seeing all the things blowing up and thinking, "Oh, that's cool. Those things blowing up." And I remember, I feel fondly about Independence Day. Yeah, it's stupid, but it's good stupid. No, everyone's shaking their heads, but I think it's good. Stupid.
Chris was shaking the head at it's stupid, and I was shaking my head at it's good. There were two different shakes. The head
I said
going
it's
on
good,
there.
stupid. So you can both kind of merge those words together. Good, stupid. I think it's enjoyable trash. No, you're still shaking.
You see, this is why, like, going forward from week 2, we're all going to watch the films
Again.
Like, again, if you haven't seen it recently, obviously this is the first week; it's all a bit different. And I think if you'd seen it more recently, you'd be less positive on it.
Okay.
That's what I think. Having watched it quite recently.
Really?
Has either of you seen the sequel?
Yes,
No.
I've seen the sequel. Yeah, have you seen it?
Right. Yeah, and I wish I hadn't because it has actually damaged the world for me.
Yeah,
It's
awful.
damaged that
so
universe like irreparably, actually, because I kind of think that may be what the directors wanted to do in '96.
Yes, yeah.
They make it that silly, but it was actually beyond their technical ability. So they could only show certain things and tell the story and leave it to the imagination. And I was filling in the gaps and making it a better film.
There's not many gaps in what gaps have you got to fill in the first Independence Day?
Well, I'm saying there wasn't much. They didn't show the aliens much. There was just like
exactly.
one scene.
Oh, I suppose.
And it was out, and it was in mist, and it was in dark, and it was just
That's
I mean,
See, that's the
all
bit.
we really know about all we know about the aliens really is that they've got Macs, isn't it? They run Apple. That's all we know about the aliens.
Well,
and Apple's
they
a
can
great
interface
product.
with them.
They've got.
I mean, in
USB
'96, you'd be lucky if
socket.
you could get your printer to talk to your computer, let alone your computer talk to an alien.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
somehow they managed it.
But see, that alien
Or
bit,
Jeff
I
Goldblum.
I remember that bit with Data from Star Trek where he's in the room and he goes all crazy. It's a good bit of. I remember that being a good bit of ridiculous acting, and he gets snatched out. Like I remember thinking, that bit is in my head as a memory. I remember that bit.
It's
being
not even
good.
that ridiculous though.
No, what do you mean? It's not that ridiculous.
It's quite.
Oh, his acting.
I buy all of that. Buy all of that. Yeah.
He's a good character.
In the second film.
Oh God, is he in the second film? Is it everyone except Will Smith, basically?
He's awful in the second film. He really they do really weird things with his character, and like they make him gay, which is fair enough, but they don't want to say it until at the very last minute. I think it's just he dies, isn't it? Spoilers if you've not seen it. Like his lover puts a scarf around him or something. Is that what he does? Puts a scarf around his neck or something?
Yeah,
and then,
I didn't pick up loads of gay vibes off it.
But that's the thing, it's so stupid. Like, if you're going to make him gay. Don't just, like, pretend he's not, and then at the last minute go, by the way,
it was
gay.
kind of more that sort of unsaid professors working closely together sort of relationship.
No. It's explicit right at the end.
Okay.
I think
How explicit?
Down on it. It was just really weird. It was like really, like, just unnecessary. How explicit, yeah. Well...
Right, but with the first film...
The steam comes back up. They don't show it. There's like... He comes against the glass again at the end.
That's the problem. It was just... They do that. They redo that scene in the second film.
I don't think it's a sex scene, though, is it?
No.
Okay, well, so you're saying that because I have it's just that I'm remembering it, I'm thinking it's better than it is.
Yeah, well, let me tell you my problem with it, okay? Because I watched it quite recently. Because I had the DVD, and I'll mention this in a bit.
You had the VHS as well.
Yeah, but the DVD had extra stuff on it, kind of ruined it. And so I didn't watch it for a long time because there's extra features, which there's a whole subplot put in with Randy Quaid's son being ill, which it sort of really ruined the film for me. I didn't watch it for a long time. And then,
I mean, that happens in a lot of films. It's just we don't get to see the cut stuff, right?
Exactly. So that's why I gave it another chance about 6 months ago. I watched the original version of it. And I think until... up until the attack happens, I think it is a really good film. I think it builds really well. I like how they got the different, you've seen Jeff Goldblum and you've seen Will Smith going, "Is it an earthquake?" Whatever he says.
That's a great Will Smith impression.
Yeah, I'm known for that.
I think it's like weather satellite disruption or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they really you go too far with that. Like, oh, he's too cool. He doesn't really care. Like, and the way there's just a shot where like he looks round at the spaceship, but he's walked all the way out of his house. You'd have seen this spaceship. Things like that drive me up the wall, where it'd just be so easy to just make it like in a way he wouldn't so obviously have just seen it. Anyway, that doesn't matter. That's not my problem with the film.
It's still far away. It's not
No,
over
it's
his
huge.
house.
No, it's massive.
It's his
like,
view.
yeah, the whole view.
Do you
It's all I
realise
can
that
see.
shot is his view? It's his point of view, and it's over LA.
No, but he's
not
already
over
walked
his
out
house.
though. No, but he's already walked out and he's like looked around and stuff, and then he looks up the street and everyone else is looking the other way. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This isn't. Let's not get bogged down in that, because this is actually the good bit of the film. This whole bit's the good bit.
Yeah.
And the attack's obviously really good. And I love
Harry
the people.
Connick Jr.
Who's he?
He's the other fighter pilot.
Oh,
who
the
he makes
fighter.
with.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the worst bit of the movie for me.
And what's it, all the the people who embrace the aliens when they stand
on the roof.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that I quite like that because that would probably happen.
Yeah, exactly. That was very realistic.
I love Jeff Goldblum's boss with the guy who talks like this.
Yeah.
I gotta call my aunt.
What, Will Smith?
Call my lawyer. Forget my lawyer.
Not Will Smith, no. Yeah, forget my lawyer. Oh, you don't see that guy in anything, do you? What was he in?
Yeah, he was in Mrs. Doubtfire at the same sort of time as well.
Oh, was he? Okay. It's a hell of a voice. Anyway, so that's good. And then when it all has gone wrong, I tell you the changing point in that film is when that dog escapes. There's a fire in the tunnel, and the dog sort of leaps in slow motion.
That's
and they're like, oh... Sorry, what's he called? Dodge? The dog's called Dodge?
No, I mean, it's dodgy.
Oh, right. I think the name of the dog. I was like, wow, you're a really big fan. You know the name of Will Smith's dog in the film. Yeah. But no, that's the turning point for me. And after that, it's overly long. Not much really happens. They all very, very slowly wander to Area 51. And there's a fight. Like, there's not a lot goes on, is there, in that second half of that film?
No, I guess not. Now you're saying.
Come on,
Well, there's a massive dogfight.
That's it, though, isn't it? That's it.
They actually... You have you see the alien, you see the ship, you see all that sort of technology is revealed to you, but it's still done in a way where it's not totally out there. You can, it leaves enough to the imagination. And also the design of the alien ship and their culture and how we see them is really well done, and it's done in an abstract way, kind of like how Stargate is. It's just shapes and it's kind of how it might be. It's quite realistic in that sense, I think. And that's the problem with the second one is they show things like...
Hang on, Chris, stop.
Yeah.
It's realistic. What do you mean?
I think it's from in the way they show the alien culture.
Yeah.
It's
you met an alien?
Realistic in the way that we don't understand it. It's quite vague.
It's not a bunch of blokes. It's not. I mean, going back to Star Trek, it's not a bunch of people painted blue wandering around in short skirts. I agree, Chris. I agree with you.
The art's design,
all that stuff
the art
is
design
really
and the actual.
Yeah, they have that down. Into it. Look at Stargate.
Suits. No one had done stuff like that before, and the design of the creatures, and obviously they've had to have connected it to what, because it was Area 51, right? So they actually connected it to what we thought a flying saucer would be, and they had to kind of link all that in, all that pre-existing stuff. But I mean, I think it's great.
It's basically War of the Worlds, isn't it? Really, but like updated with exploding landmarks.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that's kind of Yeah.
I'm just sitting here. It was there was a lot of large-scale disaster movies in the 1990s, wasn't there?
Yes.
Volcano.
Deep. What's Deep Impact? The other one
Deep
about
Impact. The Core.
Asteroids.
The Core as well.
Yeah.
The Core. Yeah. Armageddon.
Yeah.
It was briefly the second highest grossing film behind Jurassic Park in the 1990s.
A lot of people.
Oh, it's a phenomenon,
it.
definitely. Yeah. I just don't think it's very good. I don't really disagree. It was seen a lot, but
I actually don't think there's much wrong with that movie. Actually,
there's so much wrong with it. Like nearly all the characters are like just one-dimensional and boring.
Brilliant.
It's not a film.
Not brilliant.
Apart from, like I said, apart from it coming up randomly, it's not a film I think about a lot. I can't. No. I mean, apart from the iconic exploding stuff, but we've seen landmarks explode. That's like a thing now in so many, Marvel films.
Yeah,
they always explode a good landmark.
Invented that.
Yeah.
It did, but that's all it is. And like, whereas Jurassic Park invents modern CG, but it's still a very watchable film. Independence Day, robbed of the shock factor of things blowing up. There's nothing to it. There's just nothing there.
That whole build-up where the aliens arrive, I think, is probably the best that's been done.
That bit was all I say. That bit's
and
all
how
right.
People are scrambling around, and they maybe send planes to, to see what there it is, and then they explode, and all they've got is like the current technology, just the radar. They just see radar blackouts and stuff. I think that is more realistic than what is often shown, where what we can do is played up. Because
I completely agree. Yeah. I agree with you. But as I say, it's just after that it goes wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in terms of the ranking, I think we're probably.
I think it's at number 2.
It's at number 2. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a heavy 2. It's going to sink lower.
And if these two rankings change in the next 15 minutes.
Well, hell yeah, they are, as far as I'm concerned.
I think there's probably going to. Well, let's not spoil anything, but. Chris's face. I think we're going to have to find someone else for the podcast after the end of this first episode. Throw his mic down.
Well, he's done. He's got his top 2 science fiction films ranked. There you go, 1 and 2. It's over.
Yeah.
Would you say those are your top 2 science fiction films, Chris?
No.
Would you say that? No. Okay. That's good. Don't. No spoilers. Let's say what are. But
I mean, I think Independence Day would probably be in the teens or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I'll give you a spoiler. It's not beyond the teens in our list. It's going to be a lot further down than in the teens. I'm pretty confident in saying that. But for now, it's number 2. Independence Day. Congratulations. You'll never be higher again.
Yeah, much like your gross at the time, you were winning in the box offices. You're not going to win for much longer.
Yeah. Well, it got there first, didn't it? It got there first on our list. It got there first in the blowing up stakes as well.
Yeah.
So good work there, Independence Day. Early to a party.
Good name in that film, Brackish Oaken, the doctor's name. Brent Spiner's scientist's name.
What was it? Brackish?
Brackish Oaken.
That is
Which is quite a cool name.
What's the name of the guy who talks like this? What's his name?
I don't know.
It's Will Smith.
Is he the exotic dancer friend? No, that'd be Will Smith's
he's
wife.
the boss, isn't he? He's the boss.
Yeah.
He dies, doesn't he? Which is a shame.
Yeah, car lands on his car.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. What's he say? Is oh crap? Or was it oh
Something
shit?
like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
He's still on the phone to his aunt, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd watch a spin-off with him.
Or the whole film re-edited from his perspective.
What? It's just.
I mean, the whole world was saved by an alcoholic crop duster. It's great.
And a virus from a Mac.
Yeah.
Again, basically like War of the Worlds.
It's nonsense. It's complete nonsense.
Well, again, this is in the era where computers were out there, but they weren't commonly used in the home. I don't think so.
1996.
You could sell that sort of shit.
That's not true. That's not true.
Well, maybe in your house, but not in mine.
Everyone had got a computer in 1996. I bet you'd got a computer in 1996, Chris. Come on.
No.
Had you, Alex?
I can't remember that far back. I'm so old.
Probably like 98, 99.
I think I probably did have it. I think we probably did. Anyway.
That wouldn't excuse them using an Apple to upload a virus to an alien spaceship. Doesn't matter how many people have got computers. And we're back from the break, and Chris wants to just say one more thing.
Independence Day is amazing. It shouldn't be moved from 2. If it does, there's going to be serious issues. I mean, you tell them what we're going to do next, but I'm not going to be happy if the current leaderboard changes. Because I would say that it is better than what's coming up.
Oh my god, what? Holy shit!
Maybe you should just tell people what's coming up.
Whoa, okay. Wow. Wow. You were ill.
I mean, just in terms of the amount of times I'd sit down and watch it.
You're insane. All right,
I've seen one a lot more than the other.
You're insane. The third film... Alex, is he insane?
Yeah, he's insane.
Yeah. Okay. The third film... and we're not normally going to be doing 3 big films like this, or 2 big films and Independence Day. It will normally be more of a varied mix. But this was because
Independence Day, I think, was like the biggest B movie ever made. And I think if you look at it like that, it's really good.
Yeah, a film that you would arrive late to not see.
Yeah. Or would be on after a better film.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to watch it. Yeah. Okay, the third film, and really, we might regret getting another big hitter out of the way early on, but let's go for it. This is from 1977. You can probably guess what it is. It's Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. Many
it wasn't
people
called that when it came out, though.
No, I know it wasn't, but it is now.
They added all that crap.
They added it very quickly, very, very, very quickly, didn't they? Like it was the second, was it the second or third week in the cinema? It was added really quickly. The New Hope thing was, which I didn't know until recently. But sorry, Alex,
can we also clarify at this stage when we're discussing this film, we're discussing the original version, the version that you saw when you saw it in the cinema, not a bit with anything added, not the George Lucas mucked up bit. We're talking about the proper original version of it. Yeah. Yes, that's fair.
See,
and that should be a rule
I've
going ahead.
That.
You've not seen the original version?
You've not seen the original version.
I must have, because it must have been on the TV when I was a kid. But the thing is, you can't get it now. It's difficult to get now.
No, I think you watched it with me because I got the Laserdisc versions on DVD when we were at university, and I think we watched them all back to back in Manchester. I'm sure we did.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I remember going as a kid to see the special editions.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I'd not seen them before that. That's the first time I saw them.
Ugh, you're both disgusting.
Yeah, I've not seen them properly until then. I'd seen them on TV. I mean, I just remember them being like quite dark, quite cool, like fantasy things on the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's just break this down. Alex, as the senior member here, who
Thanks
saw this
again.
before us, do you want to start with when did you first see Star Wars? Was it at the cinema,
So I
or?
think, yeah,
You're not
I'm
that
trying
old,
to
are you?
think. No, I'm not that old. I know for a fact I had all three on bootleg VHS off Deptford Market from my parents on a birthday. So I watched those a lot as a child.
Nice.
I don't think I saw the first one in the cinema originally. If I did, I can't really remember. They may have re-released it, I guess. But yeah, I mean, come on. Like I say, so yeah, I just want to going backwards a little bit. I would clarify that this is that version, and there are going to be some other films on this list that maybe there are other versions, and it's kind of better to clarify which version we're talking about. I would, I mean, I don't really see how anyone would not. I mean, it beats the living crap out of Independence Day. Personally, I think it's better than Jurassic Park, but I'm sure that's going to cause some problems. But anyway,
Well, do you want me to go next?
you can,
Yeah.
Because I kind of know Chris's response. So it used to be my least favourite of the original three by far.
What?
Mine.
And also, I used to prefer Jurassic Park. But the older I get, the more I prefer New Hope to definitely more than Return of the Jedi, and it's on par with Empire Strikes Back for me. And I think I'm not sure, but I think the reason is that like when I was a kid, I loved all the like expanded mythology and the wider world of Star Wars and all these like things that were going on around it. And I loved the big universe and bought the technical manuals and read the novels and stuff like that. And as I get older, my tolerance of that kind of stuff, it's gone. There's more things to occupy my time, and I see Star Wars now as just a really good science fiction action film. Whereas before it used to be like the one where they hadn't really worked out the world properly yet, and it was all a bit weird and not quite right. But now I think no, actually that's the charm of it. Like it's so they just hit the ground running and they just go, don't they? And like unlike Independence Day where it kind of just stops dead halfway through and builds up again, and a lot of other films, it does, Chris. Don't shake your head again. Star Wars, they literally, they crash down the planet and then it's just go, 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 go. And it's such a, I think
There
in a
are some
way,
bits where it's quite slow though in Star Wars. It just ticks
totally.
along like it's a western or something. Or,
yeah, it's paced well. It goes up and down. There's a bar scene. There's a scene on the Millennium Falcon, but there's always that sense of urgency. On the bar, they're going to be found out by stormtroopers. On the Millennium Falcon, they're racing to get across the galaxy. With the Death Star plans and stuff. It's there's a dynamism to it and I think without the next
for the
two
time,
films,
it must been amazing. For the
yeah,
time.
I think it would be stronger without having sequels. Do you know what I mean?
Because it's
I
the
think
only one that stands alone. You can just watch that and stop. You could just watch New Hope and just stop. You don't need to watch any of the others. All those other ones, you have to know everything else about it. Just watch New Hope. That's it. It's over. I mean, it's its own thing. It's encapsulated in one. It's great that there's all the other ones, and they're great too. But you can just have that as well, and that's why it stands up on its own. Whereas the other ones, they don't stand up on their own, completely drawn out of the whole universe.
Yeah, they just get more and more bogged down, and that's my problem with Rogue One. Like it was we'll discuss that on a later one, but it just felt drowned by like everything that had come before. Whereas it's just so free, New Hope. It's just so like I'm going to make a space western.
Yeah,
fuck it, here it is. That's why that appeals to me more and more the older I get. I think.
Well, that's because obviously what he was making, no one knew what it was he was making. It was difficult to make. There was loads of cock-ups when they were making it. It wasn't the big thing which it became. Mm-hmm. So it's unburdened in that sense.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I still think Empire Strikes Back is a better made film. Like it's a better. I mean the filmmaking techniques and how dark it is and how things are shot. I mean it's beautiful. Empire Strikes Back. It's absolute. Compared to the first one, it's like a work of art to look at.
Yeah,
the first
definitely.
one is ropey, but for a reason.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there, definitely. But remember, you're not ranking it against Empire Strikes Back here. You're ranking it against Jurassic Park and Independence Day.
Yeah, I mean, and in that sense, it is a very strong film. That it is Star Wars. But I'm like you. I used to love all the extended universe. I had all the books. I'm still really into like all the sciencey side of Star Wars. like all the ships and stuff.
How about you, Alex? Did you have a phase of like
Oh no,
that kind of stuff?
yeah, definitely. But I think where what you're both missed on Star Wars is that the reason Star Wars is so good is that because he ripped the hell out of he ripped off Hidden Fortress Kurosawa, and he ripped the hell out of so many things. But what he did by ripping those things is he tapped into basically ancient storytelling. It's archetypal characters. Yeah. It's the old wise old wizard. It's the young upstart. It's the princess. It's the comedy sidekicks. It's the roguish pirate. It's a big fucking walking dog. And those characters, those archetypal characters, putting them in that context of the space and the laser swords and ships and all that. That's the amazing, fantastical science fiction elements of it. It just takes it way out, and that's why you could do all the sequels and all that. And also, there's some really good acting in it. It's got some solid performances in it. You know, it's got some heavyweight people, some solid performances. It's got great effects. The original, the effects are really good. The characters are good. You know, and it's kind of the problem with George Lucas as it went on was the dialogue was so dodgy, and you know, some of the dialogue in New Hope is just cliched and a bit crap. Yeah. But you kind of, because it is the first one and it is setting the scene, you're kind of letting it off because you're just like, okay, this is a new world. This is just how it is. It's when you've got however many films in that you start kind of going, okay, yeah, this is just badly written now.
And also definitely, I think that's I think because you become so familiar with the characters, you sort of judge them against like something they're not in that film. Like you start to think, well, that's not the Han Solo that you know is later defined. I mean, you think of like how Han Solo is in Return of the Jedi versus New Hope. Yeah, he's a completely different, being, isn't he? In a way,
exactly.
He's a lot worse in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
and that can't help but play into how you view it. And I think it is like just watching it, because I mean I haven't watched Empire Strikes Back in years, I don't think, which is weird because I used to watch it. No, I watched it with Lucy because she watched it for the first time about a year.
You used to watch it on a daily basis.
Yeah, I used to watch it a hell of a lot. Yeah.
God, you must have been depressed every day.
Oh, but that's why it's so good. I still think that's a better film. Perhaps I don't know for different reasons, but we'll get to that at another episode. But no, I think if I was going to put a Star Wars film on now, I would put New Hope on.
I'd put Rogue One on.
I'd put New Hope on and then watch Rogue One, because I think that's the way you have to watch them, because Rogue One just didn't set anything up. It was just, but yeah, we're not talking about Rogue One.
No. I'd put New Hope on, then Empire Strikes Back, then Force Awakens.
Oh, I hate Force Awakens.
Oh, what? Oh my god.
That's a different podcast, but yeah.
It's like lazy. It's for all the reasons that we've been talking about is why Star Wars is good. In a sense, from a filmmaker's perspective, I like how Star Wars is like really ropey. He used what he could at the time, is blagging a lot of stuff in the making of that, but is so bold in the way he does it. He kind of bluffs his way through it. Like, how the titles come in, that was like revolutionary at the time, and everything. And it had a really particular style, and it was revolutionary. And he's just bluffing. It just bluffs his way through it, and it's really good. It's really clever.
Yeah, there's a lot of luck came up. A lot of things, a lot of kind of, things allied, like galaxies allied to get the luck that made that so good. Not only so good, but so popular. They didn't know, it was a complete gamble from what he'd done before. And it's the luck element that is missing from a lot of modern films. The kind of, the lack of control. Like you say, the kind of fact they were just kind of flying by the seat of their pants.
And all them boys, I think, all them filmmakers, all the ones we talked of today, I think, were better when they did have to do things practically and they were constrained by technology, and they probably only had a handful of effect shots they knew they could get into the film, and then the story had to work with them plugging in, really, and it's done the opposite way around now. And I think George Lucas and Spielberg and definitely Emmerich are worse filmmakers now because it's too easy, and they're surrounded by yes men. They were much better when they were surrounded by no men. Oh, and
totally.
They couldn't do things.
But also they're a lot younger as well. Like that plays into it, doesn't it? Like an old man's not going to make Star Wars. No. It's just not going to happen.
No, but they might take more. They could take risks. Yeah, I think they've become lazy, like you say.
Well, I don't think it's even become lazy. It's just they learnt their skills, and the software in their brain was
of the time.
was in a certain time.
Yeah, totally,
and
yeah.
it's different now.
Yeah. Something happened. We're back in. It might be a bit clumsy, but I was going to say some trivia. This is the trivia, which you might know, Chris. They can't release the original versions on Blu-ray. Do you know why?
No.
Because it wasn't in the contracts or something?
Yeah, because Fox owned the theatrical print of New Hope, just New Hope. So Disney own everything else, but they don't own New Hope, so that's why it hasn't happened.
Yeah. Damn it.
Lame.
Damn Disney.
Lame.
The theatrical print.
So I think we're all agreed.
Disney must own the original footage, though, and everything, all the assets.
But it wouldn't matter
Right.
if they own the print, if they own the... Hang on, let's have a look.
Because they used some stuff for Rogue One, didn't they? Some of the original assets. All I'm saying is they could just re-edit the film exactly the same using the assets.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Hang on
that
a
makes
second.
sense.
Fox retains theatrical and home video distribution rights to Empire and Jedi through 2020 and the rights to New Hope forever. So, crazy.
Okay.
But anyway, so I think we're all agreed it's a fantastic film.
Yes. 100%.
And so we've got 2 films in the ranking. This is the 3rd film going in. Where does it go into the ranking?
I'd accept second.
I would say first.
I would also say first. If Chris, if you
listen,
ranking it on...
I'm like one of the biggest Star Wars fans you'll meet, so I'm not going to argue the toss over this. But
I just want to know one thing. If you rank it on your own, would you put it below Independence Day for real?
no,
You wouldn't, okay.
No, I wouldn't,
That's
no.
good. Okay,
Phew.
cool.
but I'll probably put it underneath Jurassic Park as a standalone film.
Yeah. But you're alright with going above... Is it's 2-1?
Yeah, I'm happy for it to go definitely above
I
Independence
mean,
Day.
I think they're both going to hang around the top of this list for a long time to come, aren't they? Both those
Indeed.
films.
Independence
definitely.
Day, yeah.
No. Right. So that's our 3 films. That's our first week done.
Yeah.
Now, I did ask you for a bit of homework in that email.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've both done it or not.
I've got
Chris
I've
hasn't.
got some
Clearly
suggestions.
Okay.
What was the homework?
The homework was that I wanted us to all turn up with one film to watch next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you both got one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, who wants to go first? Alex, let's hear yours.
I would say They Live.
Oh, good choice.
Thank you.
Have you seen They Live, Chris?
Yeah, it's I like that one.
Oh, wow. So, I can know that. Chris?
Why? Yeah, I feel like mine's too mainstream now.
It doesn't matter.
I
mean, the thing is, actually, if this is going to go out to people, I should probably say that we haven't really got a format yet for what the 3 films will be. We're open to doing like themed weeks. We're open to doing this where we all bring a film.
Send us your suggestions.
Yeah, we should also open to if you've got 3 films that you think we should rank in order, or just we don't want people's top 3 films, do we? That's not what we want to get, because you don't want to hit all the big ones early on. But if people have got interesting ideas for lists, they can send them in.
How about if someone sent 3 films in that were themed that we discussed, would we take their ranking on board?
No.
Really?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely
Other
not.
people's opinions are irrelevant.
Good point. Fair enough.
The thing is that we are the science fiction rating system,
Yeah,
and you
it's
can't
true.
mess
You
with
can't
the
mess
system,
with the
can
system.
you?
No, it's true.
No. So they can bring them to the table, but we rank them.
You can enter it into the inbox of the system.
They can add comments about what they think, but we're free to ignore them.
Good.
And also, if anyone disagrees with anything we've done today or going forward, the email address will probably be mail@sciencefictionratingsystem.com.
Yeah. Take that down, Chris.
Probably.
You can object to the fact that we've moved Jurassic Park.
Yeah. All the emails are just from Chris. Well, no one has heard it yet. Under different names.
Dear sir,
Christopher-
I disapprove
Christopher
of your
Redding.
ranking.
Jurassic Park's still one, right?
Just looking at the spreadsheet, don't think so. So mail at I've forgotten the name of the podcast. ScienceFictionRatingsystem.com. That might change, but it probably won't.
As you're the only one speaking, you can edit this, I guess.
Yeah, but so yes.
I was going to say Wall-E.
Oh, another great film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very different. Good
right.
one.
So Wall-E.
Yeah. I kind of thought it would be good each week if we had like connected films in style, but I don't know whether that's a good idea.
Well, I think we should do either or.
Wall-E, Silent Running, and something else like it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you've wasted Wall-E on this, haven't you? Now, so.
Unless you want to retract Wall-E and put something else in.
So
you could have Ghosts of Mars, They Live, and The Thing.
No. Because I want to do Inner Space. Inner Space is what I want for
okay.
Because I really want to watch Inner Space again.
Okay. Well, that's 3 good
choice.
films.
Okay, let's just do that.
All right. So, if you are listening at home, if this has gone out, we've ranked 3 films so far. At number 1, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. At number 2, Jurassic Park. And at number 3, Independence Day.
Yay!
The inaugural list. Next week, we'll add 3 more within that list, wherever they sit, wherever we choose they sit.
Yeah.
So that's it, really.
I think Independence Day's spot is pretty safe, actually. Watching, I mean...
I can think of 3 films we're watching next week that are better than Independence Day.
Yeah, me too.
I don't want it just to plummet. We need to bring in another film, which...
You're going to need to suggest some terrible films.
Yeah, maybe if Ghost of Mars had got on there, that's a pretty bad film.
What about Total Recall? Or second Total Recall?
This is the remake.
I quite like the remake.
Yeah.
I thought it was alright.
I've not seen it.
Oh, it's good.
This is relevant. We can't rank these yet. We've got to stick to the system. We've got 3 to rank. Okay. So, if you're listening at home, next week's 3 films are They Live, the John Carpenter classic. Not to show my colours too early. Wall-E or Wall-E, the Pixar film from, was that 2008? Is it 2000? Later than that, isn't it?
I'll just pull up those stats.
What got a year?
It was 2008. Yes.
Oh, nice, got it. And Inner Space, which I think is 87, maybe 89, and that's Dennis Quaid and Martin Short. So I can't wait.
Go out there and watch them so you can play along.
So watch them, and if you want to watch them and comment again,
I'm just trying
get
to
us
think of some links. So Dennis Quaid, he was in Independence Day, wasn't he?
No, Randy Quaid.
The other Quaid. Yeah. No.
Is there some sunglasses link? Does everyone in it wear sunglasses?
Oh, that might be.
No.
I bet in Martin Short doesn't in space. I bet he wears sunglasses.
Yeah, of course he does.
At some point.
Anyway, the next week doesn't need to be themed. We can theme going forward.
Yeah, or we don't have to. We can do what we like, can't we? It's our system.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that's it.
Can't wait until we watch Starship Troopers and get Starship Troopers into the mix.
At some point, yeah. You don't jump the gun with all the classics.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so where can people find us? That's the other thing. We all got Twitters. I've got one, but I don't use it. But Chris, where are you? Where are you at on the internet?
Chris Redding, Twitter, Instagram, all the usuals.
Cool. Alex?
At Love Horror, and lovehorrors.com's the website. So yeah, thank you. That'll do.
Brilliant. I think I'm at Sam X Draper, but I'm not sure.
You probably changed it
You've got multiple
times.
Personalities on the internet.
Yeah, God,
I'm
can't keep
all over
track.
the place.
Maybe just pick one before this goes out.
What am I? Hang on a second. Am I Wheel the Robot?
Ugly Arth on... Oh, God knows.
I'll get the H Robot on Instagram, but I'm at Wheel the Robot on Twitter, and I'll actually start using that now.
You need to sort this out.
Well, I said you're the social media manager, not me.
What's wrong with your name?
It's gone. Someone's got it already. Someone's had my name. Yeah, Sam Draper's Samantha Draper from Nottingham.
That's not
Damn
you.
you. No,
Maybe she knows about films. Maybe we can get her on. Just make it easier. It'd be easier if we get her on than get you the account. Right, I've got to go.
All right.
Okay.
Cheers, everyone. See you next week.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.